Hey, it's Beth here. It's of course, I'm over 65. I'm 66. And I'm still talking. And that's all I got. It's episode 133, August 13th, 2020. I've got a story. This is the day of the dogs. I was going to do this episode on my two dogs, the odd couple. But I have to add this other story, which is Debbie got a dog. Debbie and Steve got a dog. And it's a rescue. And she is so pretty. Her name is Lucy. Her name used to be Luna. But she doesn't look like a Luna. She looks like a Lucy. But she is so skinny. And she was so scared. And there's this wonderful woman who goes to all of the country animal shelters in Texas that have to kill the dogs and the cats because they don't have enough money. And she goes and she rescues, it makes me want to cry, dogs when they have like 2 days left to live. And she brings them to Austin, and she puts them in neighborhood newsletters, and they all get adopted. Well, Debbie saw one the other day, and it was Lucy. And she is so sweet. She was a little bit scared of Steve, so I ran over today. I actually did something good. For the first time in I don't even know how long. I brought a tennis ball. That was a no-go. A bag of pepperonis, which a friend of mine who's a dog trainer told me is the crack of dogs. There isn't a dog who can't resist it. You can train a dog to do anything if you have pepperonis. So we gave Lucy a little pepperoni, but she was scared because she was in the laundry room. So anyway, I come home, I'm like, oh, and this is the worst part. I got in the car. Okay, I haven't done laundry in 2 weeks because why? Why bother? But I was down to wearing this muumuu that I have, which was made by Omar the tent maker. And it's very cool because it's just open. And then, oh my God, is that Alexa? And then I was wearing a pair of underpants from 1984 from Romania. Just this ugly pair of underpants. That is always the last pair that I wear. And I was fine. I got in my car and I'm like, please car, just run. And my car is always in the shop. But I was pretty confident until I got halfway there and I realized that I didn't have my cell phone. If I was in an accident and I look the way I look, and I'm in the car I'm in, and I hadn't even looked at my face because it's under a mask. They would have thought, nobody cares. EMT would have been like, poor little old woman, and they would have clubbed me like a baby seal. I need my cell phone at all times to say, people love me. Give me a chance. Oh my God, and if I coughed, that would have been the end of it. So there I go to her house, and I get to her driveway, and I have to honk the horn because I don't have my cell phone, right? So I hung it once, and I hate to do that in neighborhoods, especially quiet, nice neighborhoods. And she didn't come out. So I left a little note with the ball and the pepperonis, get back in my car, I'm driving away, and I'm listening to the radio, and all of a sudden I hear, a ringtone on the phone. And it's during a commercial on the radio. I'm like, that is really clever because I am paying attention now. And then I realized it was my phone, and it was actually in my purse. So I go back to Debbie's house, and halfway there, Matt calls me. And he said, Mom, what's wrong? I'm in a board meeting. I'm like, nothing. He said, oh my gosh, you butt dialed me? I'm like, I must have. So I am hitting it on all cylinders. This is a triumph. I go back to Debbie's house. We talk. Little Lucy comes out. She's kind of scared of me. She goes back in the house. But an hour later, Debbie sends me this picture, and Steve and Lucy have bonded over pepperonis, which when you can't get out, that was my first outing in 10 days. And it was a success. I thought it was a failure, like everything else. I wasn't even upset. No, nothing works. It's me. But pepperonis. which brings me to my topic, which is my dogs. And actually, we started this whole thing with the Border Collie. His name is Boris. And he's a really nice guy, but he's very neurotic. And he's the dog that Kit and I went to look at puppies at a puppy mill. Not a puppy mill, a puppy dog house, a Border Collie place. A bit like a puppy mill, I suppose. Anyway, there he was, and he said, "What do you think of this one?" I said, "What one?" I mean, he was so invisible, so no personality that I didn't even see him. But then I did see him, and I thought, well, we're an old couple. Let's take him, because no one else is going to want him. He wasn't cute. He wasn't sweet. He wasn't even nervous. He was like a big zero. So I was like, okay, nobody else is going to want this dog, and we're old, and we're no fun, and let's take him. So we take him home, and he is neurotic. And Kid has to go to puppy school with him for like 2.5 years. He's like a puppy school dropout over and over and over. So this is our dog, and he's an only child, and that works. And everything's fine. He's terrified of thunder, and he's that kind of a guy. He's the terrified of thunder guy and fireworks. That's the guy he is, shaking like a leaf. So Brett, on the other hand, had a mutt that he got, and he looks a bit like a pit bull, but he's the sweetest guy in the world. And it's like people just look at him and they're scared of him because they've got this thing in their head, and it's so wrong, because he's actually the nicest dog in the world. So every now and then we'd get them together. We'd go to the lake and we'd get them together, but they didn't know each other very well. Well, I mean, I gotta tell the story, but when Brett got sick, we took, and he was in ICU, we took Ruckus to our house, and we only thought it was going to be for a short time. And Brett said, "Take care of Ruckus." And I was like, of course. We bring Ruckus home, and Boris, who doesn't like anyone in the world, opens his house. 2 males, 2 grown males. Boris opens his home to this dog. There is not a problem with dog bowls, with anything. Boris was absolutely amazing. And the first day I'm going to the hospital, and I come home. No, I'm leaving for the hospital. And Boris, like, it was like Lassie come home, grabs me by my sweater and takes me outside to show me that the landscapers had left the gate open. And this first day, Ruckus was looking for Brett, and he would have bolted. And Boris takes me to the gate, so I will lock the gate. That's how nice my dog was. And Ruckus helped me through the first 6 months. I mean, Brett didn't make it. And Ruckus was in our bed. We really only had one other dog that slept in our bed. It was the first dog, the German Shepherd. Border Collies just have too much pride to get on the bed, I suppose. But Ruckus would get on the bed, and he would sleep with us. And in the middle of the night, I'd crack up, and he would like put his body on my body so I wouldn't lose it. For like the first 6 months, I don't think he slept a wink. He's just like the greatest guy. And he taught Boris how to relax. I think Boris was really nervous that if a burglar came in or something, he was going to have to defend us. And now he has backup with this big bruiser of a guy. And they have elaborate games that they play. And actually, they will howl and sing together. And I never thought 2 dogs would be a good thing. I always thought, especially with male dogs, that there'd be a lot of jealousy and a lot of nuttiness. And anyway, I just want to say that if you have an empty nest and you don't have grandchildren, dogs are amazing. And Debbie's got a great dog now. And she was 5 years old. She'd had some puppies, and she just was through the mill. And now she's got a nice home. Ruckus is here. Ruckus saves my life all the time. But I have this thing that I do with Boris every night. I have to do like some exercises so my sciatica doesn't come back. Ruckus goes in the bedroom, Brett's dog, with Kit, because he bothers me when I'm exercising. Boris stays outside with me. And Boris and I, every single night, we have this little, communion, this little meeting of the minds. And this has been going on for years. Like 4 years, 5 years. And I just take him in the kitchen and I give him a treat. I feel guilty I feel like I'm cheating on Ruckus, Brett's dog, but I have to just give my dog, who opened up his heart and his home to another male dog, I give him this treat every single night. And it's just the two of us, and I just thank him so much. Because he could have made it so hard, and he made it so easy. And I don't know, I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to give a shout out to Boris, an erratic border collie who opened up his heart and made a big, big place in our home for another guy, a rescue guy. We kind of rescued him, but he kind of rescued us. And I guess that's what rescue dogs are all about. But there's just something about just having a dog. Just think about it. Even if you're retired and even if you have it all peaceful and no dog hairs in the house, and I understand that, but just think about it. There's a bunch of dogs out there that need some love. And even though your life is perfect and clean, dogs, they do something. They do something for you, and they make you get up, and they make you feed them, and they make you love them, and they will hug you, and just think about it. Debbie's much, much happier in one day. Just a huge difference. And poor Lucy, man, she needed help desperately. So I just wanted to, I never spoke about my odd couple before, but I just wanted to say thank you, Boris, and thank you, Ruckus. And I will be back. Bye-bye.